Welcome, guys, to our international podcast, Below the Belt. We trust you guys are great. We are making a late start today. And of course, we were holding for that comprehensive press conference out of the People's National Congress reform to wrap up before we come on. Did not want in any way to duplicate purposes and both be streaming to the pages at the same time. And so we were listening into and following. And I hope you guys have got a good sense. Hope you guys have got a good sense of what has been happening in Linden, all the myriad issues, including what has been happening there in Amelia's Ward, phase two, Amelia's Ward period, with the squatting settlement issue, and the kind of pressures that have been brought to bear. We seem to be getting some redress for that, but still watching the situation is by no means okay. The way in which they have gone about to do that, it is by no means okay the way they have gone about to do that, guys. And again, thanks for joining. You're tuned to Below the Belt. Who vex, guys? We are so happy to have you here. We know folks like Kevin Chisholm and Isabella Butters. They've been here holding, and Deborah Clark and Siobhan McDonald. And we're just happy to be picking up this leg of the broadcast for you guys as our colleagues there wrapped up that press conference again out of the People's National Congress reform. We have a number of representatives out of Region 10 and out of Linden talking about some of the challenges they have there and looking towards solutions as well as they advance the business of the people on the ground there in Linden. And let us know if you guys are hearing us clearly. We are so happy. We are so happy to be here with you guys. I see John Jones is here with us and Robert Archer, Robert Pops Archer. Robert, thanks so much for the thing, Robert. Thanks for the thing. Good to have you here. Beatrice Selby, and is it Eulandia? Eulandia Thomas. Good afternoon to you as well. Eulandia says good afternoon to all. And we say back to you, Eulandia. Good afternoon to you too. Good to see you, Seymour George, and all the other folks joining us this afternoon. We're so privileged that you folks are here with us as we go through a couple of issues we want to raise with you. Then get out of here so you can get on with life at your end. And we're going to be back later on for In the Ring, folks, at 8 this evening. Thank you guys so much. Those of you who have tuned in thus far, when you come on, what you got to do, share, smash, partner, share the damn live stream, smash that emoji, but let us know how you guys are feeling out there. And we're very much interested to know as well, how is the weather where you guys are? We are very interested to know that. How is the weather where you are? We're going to give you a check of the weather where we're broadcasting live from the national capital city of Georgetown in Guyana. And then, boys, the weather by our end is 29 degrees outside. 29 degrees outside. There's an 11% chance of rain. This is 29 degrees, but it feels like 34. Yep. It's quite some heat outside. I can tell you that. Well, it's 34, 29. It feels hot outside, and I was only too eager to get indoors and get some shade and get some cool, folks. And those of you who have to be outside, take it easy out there. Good to have you, Kevin Chisholm, who says he's here loud and proud. King Sherrod. Kevin, good to see you, my brother. Good to see you. Gladstone Matthews is here as well. He says, good afternoon, everyone. And I'm sure everyone is going to say, good afternoon, Gladstone Matthews. Derek McCalmont is here as well. Good to see you, Derek. And Sukchan Sudhari. Sukchan says, rainfall in Berbice. That's what he says. Rainfall in Berbice. And we have also Brenda Moore. Good to see you, Brenda. Peace and power. Sukchan Sudhari. Good to have you, Sharon Alfonso Evans, and all the other folks who are joining us. We're so happy that you guys are with us today. We're going to be talking about electoral reform, continuing discussion from this, from yesterday when we had Commissioner Vincent Alexander on with us, and also expanding on that discussion. Perhaps we had this morning on our podcast for the big issue. And we are hopeful, guys, is that kind of program where you can send your voice notes and we can play them at our end. We want to hear from you on this very topic. Guys, there was a very, as Starbuck News characterized it, as a heated exchange. Last evening, the EU was celebrating their 50th year anniversary with us. and celebrating that partnership over those 50 years that they've been here. And also, I think yesterday was yesterday was EU Day as well. And so there was a reception last evening. And as if you guys have, by some stretch of the imagination, have not had a chance to see or to listen to that exchange you had between the Leader of the Opposition, Member of Parliament, Aubrey Norton, leader of the PNCR, and APNU. If you didn't have a chance to see that exchange between Mr. Norton and Vice President Bar Jagdeo, then we want you to be up to speed with what's happening. Yep. Sabak News characterized it, I think, as a heated exchange, and um, I think I saw which media house, Leroy Smith, Big Smith News. They characterize this as quite not heated exchange. Yep. A friendly chat. I think that's what how they characterize it as a friendly chat. But the whole issue of SOPs came up. This is statements of polls in this context of election, statements of polls, and also SORs came up. These are statements of returns, right? Not statements of return, recount, statements of recount. Yep. Right, SORs, and that was the exchange. That was what bring your SOPs, and you bring your SORs, and Mr. Norton would have challenged the Jagabat fraudulent vice president to debate. You on top, right? Let's debate the issues. Let's debate what's happening, right? You want to, bring 2021 to the fore. Hmm? Let's talk. Let's talk about what's happening. And that's how that went, folk. That's how that went. And I want to play for you part of that exchange. I want to play for you, beautiful people, part of that exchange. I would love to hear your thoughts and comments. Keep it short, folks. Keep it on the 2 minutes. If you're going to be sending us a WhatsApp message, please and thank you, tonks, please and thank you. Keep it on the 2 minutes if you can. Again, so happy that so many of you guys are here. It's Taco, Dinorain, and Orindon Cook, Julia Lewis. We see Gloria Fraser. We see also Dora, David, Orindon Cook. Yep. The cook is always here. Well, good to see you, folks. Rhonda Spencer, Tom, folks. Here's just a bit of that exchange. Just a bit of that exchange. We'll make sure we get it right. A bit of that exchange, folks. Hope it comes up. Let me try a different way. We can get some of that audio. Yep.
Make them public. I will next year.
Let me take it from the top. Take that from the top. Let's see how we go, folks. Thanks for joining. So many of you. Shirley Crichton, I see you there. And Rhonda Spencer, Donna Liverpool, Fidel, Nakam, Langhorn, see you as well. Good to have each and everyone here.
Make them public. I will next year. When you bring it, accept the observation report. Which observation report? From the OAS, from the European Union, from the Carter Center, from CARICOM? Which is observation or the 16th to have assessment and then the assessment there is a law about the representation of, and it speaks specifically what are the grounds. All you go to the law. You go to the law. You sign. And in accordance with the yeah, we have 4 feet. Yeah, simple. The recount, listen, what Chicom was doing was Vincent Alexander and your colleagues were busy trying to support the process. Would you agree to all the 60 and the law? In that law, you will say the process, take the process to yeah, all right, well, why? Whenever you're ready and prepared to debate you, okay, no, no, no. But President. So, no, 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 no. What? All right. No, no. You have to have but SOPs, map the SOP. How come everything will come on the mission and the mission will bring your SOPs? So you will bring your SOPs. Yeah, you will, no, no, no. Will you bring your SOPs to the petition? You said wait for the petition. Will you bring up those? Everything. No, no, no. Will you bring the SOPs? So just tell me wait, watch here. If you bring your
Yep, folks. That's some of that exchange last evening at that reception by the European Union, put on in celebration of our 50th year engagement with them, and also EU Day was celebrated yesterday, and that's some of the that banter that came out of that between Leader of the Opposition, Member of Parliament, Mr. Aubrey C. Norton, and the installed vice president. Some of what came out there, and both Amanda and Rita in the morning program addressed their minds to some of that. And the more you examine it, is the more ludicrous what Mr. Jagdio said, how it must be perceived by Guyanese everywhere. Let's start with the fact, perhaps, what Mr. Vincent Alexander, Commissioner Vincent Alexander, pointed out in our program just yesterday, folks, is that here you had, for instance, here you had the Elections Commission itself, whose chairman would have written to the General Registrar's office saying that here I have this list with people who it is claimed they are dead, but yet they would have voted on elections day by some miracle. Really and truly, there's fraud, impersonation, because that people can't vote. But somebody would have voted in their stead. Here I have these names of persons who would have purported to vote, but they would have been, they would have been deceased. And then the general registrar raised back and said, yes, we have documentation here that suggests that these persons should not have been able to vote in election day because they were deceased before that time. And then you had the chief immigration officer too, in which the chairman of GCOM wrote to and say, hey, here I have this list of persons who should have been out in the jurisdiction on elections day, but yet were able to vote by some other miracle. And the chief elections, the chief immigration officer says, yes, according to our records, these persons should have been overseas, but look, they voted in this election. And Mr. Alexander said that these things have already been brought to the attention of the commission, right? Of the Ghana Elections Commission, but the commissions have been sitting on their hands and have been refusing to do anything of substance with this information. Right? And of course, if this, if based on what has transpired, this puts the whole system in jeopardy. Can you imagine you have dead people, right, according to the GRO, who voted based on the list provided by GCOM, and GCOM is doing nothing about that information? Well, we were joined yesterday, guys. For those of you who weren't able to join us, we were joined by Mr. Alexander, Commissioner Vincent Alexander, out of the Ghana Elections Commission. And this is some of what he said when I put to him that very issue of GCOM being in possession of this information, but are refusing to act. This is part of our exchange yesterday on yesterday's podcast. Do we have it? We're going to hold. Mimi Hendricks, we see you there. We see you, Marilyn King and Maureen Williams. Paul Passat, we see you as well. Vista Hardy Rajkumar, we see you while we hold for the audio of that. That evidence languishes at GCOM. and in a petition which the PUP is fighting tooth and nail not to be pronounced on in a judicial process. You go on to state that the PPP, as a political contestant, is doing that. Is quite questionable. However, GCOM's refusal to date to review the conduct of the elections, including validating or invalidating information that the statutory bodies brought to his attention about dead or substituted voters, raises serious questions about GCOM's motive and integrity in the conduct of its own affairs. That is standing. Expand on that for us, or explicate from that for us.
Well, what I would say is very, very simple. We know that based on the reports that were sent by a body that is authorized to do so, that is the Register of Registrants, the General Register's Office that deals with births and deaths, and the Chief Immigration Officer that deals with people who have left and or returned to the country. Both of those bodies, based on information that surfaced during the recount,
Mm-hmm.
verified, verified that indeed information that surfaced during the recount is correct insofar as names of which were crossed off as having voted were names of dead people and or names of people who were out of the country at the time. So this is information provided by a body that is legally authorized to deal with such information. Now, that information having been provided, GCOM has it. It's provided to GCOM.
Mm-hmm.
GCOM has not seen it fit or proper to investigate that matter as a basis to determine how efficient its system and effective its system works. Even from that perspective, GCOM has simply laid aside that information. And in fact, the chairperson is on record as saying that the court must deal with that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But GCOM has the information and at minimum can use information to interrogate the efficiency and effectiveness of the system for future elections. They refuse to. And in fact, that information was available when the carrying company were here, but lo and behold, they were never told of that information. And so they wrote in their report that there was no evidence of these things. That's in their report, but the evidence was already available.
Yeah.
Now, this information, apart from being in the possession of GCOM, as I understand it, is already in the petition. And so one could see why the PPP are so aggressively trying to ensure the petition is never heard. Because if the petition is heard, that information will be verified by a judicial body in this country. And so those people who are pointing fingers at other people who have been riggers will be proven to be, as is the case, involved in irregularities of a massive scale at our elections.
Yep,
Wow,
yep,
this
yep,
is
yep,
this is
yep, yep,
damning.
yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
Mr.
So that's how that went on that front, folks. So while Mr. Jagdu is talking about SOPs, there is evidence at GCOM to dead people voting, people out of the jurisdiction voting, and GCOM is refusing to do anything about that. You heard that, Karen McPherson, Winsworth, Haley? Have you heard that? Right, Yolanda, Halley. You heard that, Candy Indigit Muriel King, Kevin Roberts, and Linda McCalman. You heard that? There is evidence that was supplied to GCOM from the GRO's office, from the chief elections, from the chief uh, immigration officer, as people being out of a jurisdiction, are people having died, but yet miraculously they cast a vote miraculously. But they won't look into that. Jack just focused on SOPs. Well, Mr. Norton told me no uncertain terms, as you heard as well. You know, you want to see SOPs? I want you to accept the SORs. I want you to accept the statements of recount. You have to accept that. And Jurita, the host of the co-host of our morning program, FYI, worked worked in the National Recount Center during that period. She worked in the National Recount Center during that period, and this is some of what Jurita told us this morning on FYI on our morning program. And then we were privileged to have Amanda weigh in afterwards. All right, this is some of what the young ladies told us on that program. Apologies, we're going to try to cut this up as quickly as possible. You know, sometimes the train don't always run. Yep. Some of what Judy told us this morning, and I want to pull it up for you. Do we have it? Let me see if we have that. Judy was talking to us about, yeah, apologies there. Judy was talking to us about the recount process, right? And what she saw in that recount process, and how it unfolded. You know, since we're talking about SOPs and and SORs, right? Statements of polls and statements of recount.
It's ridiculous. You know, what occurred to me listening to that exchange?
Apologies. This is going to be Amanda's take. Amanda's take on the exchange between uh, leader of the opposition, leader of the PNCR, Aubrey Norton, and Mr. Jaglio.
I don't know why your fan is not the person debating.
My man, so we know.
That aside,
Mm-hmm. The internet here behaving badly. Apologies.
it is apparent to me that Barry Jaglio cannot win an argument on the issues of governance and how his party is running this country. Let's settle that once and
Yep. We're getting some internet challenges, guys. Bear with us. So Mansa had some beautiful thoughts here.
because if I can point to my governance record to say this is what I have been doing, then it says that I actually have a case. The fact that he can dog whistle back to SOPs, which his, by the way, were dated February 29th, if you recall, says very, very clearly that he is manipulative and that he understands what it takes to gaslight his supporters. Now, a couple of
Birders, guys, the internet is doing all kinds of things. I don't know what's happening.
things, he's very disrespectful. He's disrespectful to the court because for you to demand that SOPs be presented,
He disrespectful. Thanks, Manzi. Disrespectful. Disrespectful, Anita.
is to ignore the fact that the Chief Justice rendered all of those null and void
Yep.
in the process of ordering that recount.
Correct.
So is he in his haste to excoriate and to paint other people as riggers? He keeps digging himself into a bigger hole and showing every day who the real riggers were.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Ramsing.
So the court set aside those SOPs. If the court says
Ramsing. Sadie, DB, Deborah Clark, how we suck. Shelley DeRitter.
set them aside, on what basis are you therefore seeking to revive them to support some argument that you want to make? That's the first thing.
Mm-hmm. Number one. Chandra Paul Mojave. Paul Prasad. Number one. Barbara Vaughn.
The second thing is the observation reports that you mentioned. And I want to assess this exchange.
Folks, I wish this audio were better. It keeps what do you call that? Buffering.
in particular. He referenced the OAS, the EU, the Carter Center.
I want to hear from
The
you.
OAS, the EU, the Carter Center all made one common observation that the voters list is severely bloated and needs to be fixed as a matter of urgency. You don't hear him talking about that.
Yeah.
You hear him cherry picking what he wants.
Man's on the attack. I want to hear your voice notes, folks. Send us a voice
The man
notes.
has no interest in governance and in democracy. Let's be very clear about that. The other issue is that what
627-6963. That's our number. 627-6963, guys. Send us your voice notes. Let us know your take.
and Dio and Ali should be concentrating on, if you want to concentrate on elections, is vindicating their position in the seat of government. For me, I would want to know that if
627, guys. 6963. I want to hear from you. 627-6963.
I run a race, that I want it fair and square, and that I ain't push down a man. If I'm running 100 meters. So I would say if there's a committee investigate it.
Yeah.
Because if it is, some people have the concept.
Yep. We want those voice notes. Send us those voice notes. 627-6963. We want number.
Constitution to say, the hell with Alia, I win this gold medal. I don't care who I had to push to get.
Yeah.
Talking about quality of character there. I would have been interested in showing the world that I am a legitimate government.
Yep. Song point, Eileen. Shabina, song point. Alien, Glycis, song point. Again, apologies.
There on the basis of valid and credible votes. And you notice he is setting up a catch-22 situation. When he can't have his way, because he can beat Abinar no day in a debate.
Come on, let's be factual.
Upness.
Exactly.
Go to the law. We went to the law, and here you are using every device at your disposal.
Guys, I want to hear from you. Send us those voice notes. 627-6963. I want to hear from you on this issue.
To prevent those cases from being heard. The very thing that will vindicate you and
627-6963. WhatsApp us. Send us those voice notes, guys. Send us those voice notes. We can't take any
show
calls
to
now.
the world beyond the shadow of a doubt that you are sitting in an office based on the true will of the Guyanese people. But no, you are content to sit in office.
627-6963. 627-6963. Send us those voice notes if you can. 627-6963.
On the basis of 49 ballot boxes of how many votes? Is about how many votes, Shredder? A few tens of thousands of votes. 49 ballot boxes.
Yep. Amanda talking the things. I want y'all to know them. Valid and credible. Valid and credible.
Without statutory documents. Where dead people voted.
All right, we want to hear from you guys. 627-6963. That's the number. We want to hear from you. And again, apologies for the choppiness of the audio.
Where people were not in the jurisdiction voted. And mind you, this is not a figment of the AP and the FCC.
Let me take it back and see if we get the whole piece. Again, apologies, good people. Apologies. Apologies. 627-6963. Would love to have your
What do you
thoughts.
call it? Was a reception to mark
It
the
was a reception.
50th anniversary of the.
Yeah. Trying to get a better take of that. Yep, yep, yep.
Observation report, and then
All right, guys, let me put a pause to that. Let me put a pause to that. Yep, yep, yep. So there we have it, guys. There we have it. We're gonna take that much of it. Patricia Botchway and Marilyn Jacobs, uh, Jeanette Fungofat, and all the other folks. 627-6963. We want to hear from you on this very issue. You all know this is something very important. We wait for our open mic Fridays, but we're gonna take what we have and wait for what we want. Let's see how we can take this. All right, let me take it from this end. Take it from this other end. Let me see what we have.
Hello, Sherrod. Good day. Concerning with the SOP with the Vice President and Opposition Leader,
Talk to
Mr.
me.
Aubrey Norton, I think that the Vice President should be happy to let the world see the fair and credible election. As you win something, you're not supposed to be afraid of bringing out your point to the table or your
Mm-hmm,
evidence how
mm-hmm,
you win the
mm-hmm.
election. But enough of that. Soon as we have a president and we do not know who is our president, let me point out who is our president. I would like to ask Mr. Bharat Jagdeo, where is my land that I paid my 300,000 for? Where is our land? I pay for my land. I had to work hard to get that money. I am only working 80,000 a month. I pay $50,000 when the month comes for my land. Where is my land? I see they're pushing down houses and so on in Region 10, and they're not pushing the roads that need to be pushed in Region 2. Where is my land?
Mm-hmm.
I pay for my land so long and I cannot get my land up to now 1 year and something. They're waiting to cost of living get more high. So when you give us the land, we cannot build a house and then you will come and reinstate it back. What nonsense is going on in this country?
Yep,
That is
yep,
my
yep.
take.
Yep, yep. Thanks for your take, my brother. Thanks for your take. Mouth open story. Story jump out. Thanks for your take. Means a lot to us.
Good morning, Sherrod and viewers.
Good
You
day, good
know,
day.
it's not enough to say that we give up hope on how Bar Jagdeo thinks, but he's going to play and play and play until he plays out his last card.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess his supporters, his followers, the cult members will agree finally. And that's just a hope that, yes, this man is not good for Guyana. But to cut an ordinary term, his slip is showing, and you can see the desperation unfolding. He is a desperate man clutching at a straw. He is in the middle of an ocean with just a little boat with no paddle. He's in a canoe with no paddle. And so he's going to clutch at any straw
Yeah,
to see how he could be
yeah.
saved. I just pity him, but one day I know Guyana is going to be rid. He's a blight, hands down. He's a blight to Guyana, and Guyana cannot see. There cannot be any good. Guyana is in a serious state where Barajagdo is concerned. I pray God that we be rid of him
A lot of
by
folks, a
some
lot of,
means.
uh, yeah,
God is in charge of this matter.
yeah. A lot of folks might agree with you. You know, as cameras say, go to pasture. You had your time. Go to pasture now, man. Go to pasture. Right? Thanks for that. Thanks for that. Thanks for sending us that.
Hi, good afternoon, Sharad.
William.
Listening to Aubrey Norton and Barry Jagdio's discussion last evening, it caused me to remember a lawyer that I worked with some time ago. He would say to me, he said, look, if the law is against you, argue the facts. If the facts are against you, argue the law. If both the law and the facts are against you, you make plenty noise, throw the furnitures all over the place, hoping that something sticks.
Yeah, yeah.
This is exactly both the law and the facts are against Jagdeo, and this is exactly what he's doing, making plenty noise.
Thanks, William. Nice in your skin. Plenty, plenty nice. That's we doing. Folks, we want to hear from you. Send us those voice notes. We want to hear from you on this issue. Please and thank you. Send us those voice notes. Don't wait. Rock and rock and come in with the voice notes. We want to hear from you guys. Send us those voice notes. 627-6963. That's our WhatsApp number. 627-6963. Let's take another one.
Another thing, Sharon, who is really the president of Guyana?
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, Mr.
Good question.
Jagdeo, and again, I'm saying this, I'm saying it with something in my throat. Mr. Jagdeo is running around all over Guyana making proclamations. Isn't it supposed to be the president who does that? Total disrespect. And I mean, I'm not supposed to care, but as far as I'm concerned, he's undermining the person who was identified
Yes.
as the president of Guyana.
Yeah. He don't mind.
Nonsense.
He don't mind. Once he get a little limelight, he don't mind. 627-6963. Guys, we would love to hear from you on this issue. 627-6963. Them boys and K. Them boys and K. And he in particular, as long as he get a little limelight, what's it comes to do? Huh? Guyana Spectator, where you say there? Sadie and Victor Prasad. What you guys say? 627-6963. Let's hear from you. Maureen Chester Paul. Carl Miller, what say thou? What say thou on this issue? We want to hear from you guys. 627-6963. Send us your voice notes and let's have a go at it. Send us your voice notes. 627-6963. Send us your voice notes. 627 again. 6963. 627-6963. All right. Send us your voice notes. We want to hear from you. Good to have each and every one of you here with us, folks. Let me see if we can take this one.
Ali should get boys to stand up to Jack Dio.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Thanks for that, folks. All right. Thanks for that. Good to have you there. Mm-hmm. Yep. Guys, sis, that's how the thing went. That's how the thing is going there. That's how the thing is going. And, the waves picked up on this. We must let you know. Picked up on this back and forth between Mr. Norton and Jagdio on SOPs and so forth. And here's what Wave said today in a publication that they put out, part of which read that the opposition leader Aubrey Norton and Vice President Barry Jagdio on Monday night set conditions for a public debate in a heated but respectful exchange between the two senior political figures, Mr. Jagdio and to Mr. Norton. Mr. Jagdio said to Mr. Norton, if you bring your SOPs, your statements of poll tomorrow, make them public. The next day, I'll debate you. Mr. Norton to Jagdio, if you accept the observation reports, I will debate you once you allow the observation reports. That Mr. Norton responded. And then the Marwave says, it is unclear whether the vice president really understood to which observation report Mr. Norton was referring. Mr. Jagdio interpreted that to mean the reports by international elections observer missions rather, prompting the opposition leader to accuse him of shifting the goalpost away from Order 60 that had governed the national recount. Folks, these are the things in the public domain, and a lot of people love to see this kind of public engagement. We got debate is good for democracy. Contending for ideas is good for democracy. Right? We can't fault it. Can't fault it. Bull Page, Carl Miller, can you fault it? Sadie and Rowena Cummins, Whiskey Sessions, Winsworth Haley, can you fault? Can't fault that. Can't fault that. Duke it out. Duke it out. Ideas versus ideas. on a national stage. Let's talk about what happened in the 2020 general regional elections, right? Because lots of the things we're still trying to grapple with, still trying to account for. Right? Some of the folks who've been in the recount and you had to go through box by box, we're still trying to fathom, folks, what took place. What took place, for instance, with those 47 ballot boxes without any of the statutory documents. What took place there? Uh, we ain't stupid. We beg and we get sense. Nero DeJean and Winsworth Haley and Sadie, Leslin Charles. We big. Chandra Paul Mojave. We big and we got sense. All right. We big and we got sense. Right. Looking forward to those voices. We got a couple minutes left, guys. We have a couple minutes left. Let's take this one and see how we're doing.
Good afternoon, Cheryl and listeners. I'm not sure if anybody else is there because I just woke up after working last night. Every time I think about elections 2020, I get a headache and I still feel angry and
Stewie.
betrayed by those persons responsible for what happened. If it is, and I've saved that document as a rebuttal every time PPP supporters um, say anything about SOPs. If you're still depending on SOPs for your defense, why is it that it's the statement of recount that installed, as far as I'm concerned, they were installed, that installed the PPP government, right? What are you saying? Is it the SOPs or is it the statements of recount? Because the SOP is dated the 29th of February 2020 when elections was on the 2nd of March 2020. I also have an intense dislike for the person, I can't remember her name at the moment, but she compromised herself when she accepted those documents that were not in a proper state, and also, and this is something that has me about those military votes that were not counted. It's a slap in the face of those persons who defend the citizens of Guyana. I got a problem with that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for Mr. Jagdio, and I say Mr. Jagdio with something in my throat, but Mr. Jagdio to still be talking about SOPs is nonsense because he himself, what he's doing is contradicting himself because his government's installation was based on the statements of recount. So I don't know why they're still talking about SOPs. Therein lies, and this might be a pun, but therein lies the lies of all of them. Every time I think about elections, I get upset. Real thing.
Yep. 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 Thanks for that contribution, my sister. Thank you so much. Somebody says here that long time done and short time left. I love that. Long time done, short time left. That's all people saying. Long time done. Person, good afternoon, Mr. Duncan. Happy to have the SOPs. He have the SOPs in their possession. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We look. A long time done. Long time done. Short time left. That's what we're hearing.
My intake is that the PPP now they giving you know the people or the supporter getting power junk. You know, where I'm from, right? You get this chance, get a mill, and if you see this man set up, throwing every drop of the rainwater onto the public road. If you see the state, People complaining about this man, and the relevant people can't go to him and tell him anything. This man black up drain that have one of our big farmer, that support the village with greens.
Wow.
Also a medicine doctor, The man they planting, the man just wicked and black up the drain, no water coming in front for the man. Watch. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. The big man lose on the crap. Saying this to say that they have to go, man, because the people getting power drunk. Yeah.
Right on, right on. We support that. We support that. We support that. We gotta make it happen. We gotta make it happen. Thanks for that contribution. Thank you. 627-693. We got a couple minutes left, like really a couple minutes left. And we'd love to hear from you. Send us your voice notes. Keep them short. See ya, Rebel. Good to see you. See ya. Good to see you. Chinsing Henry. Marina Cummins. Good to see you as well. And Nicola Daniels. Good to see you. Facebook user, quote unquote. Okay, the name your parents give it like Facebook user. Moving on, folks. But this is where we are 627-6963. We'd love to hear. Love to hear. Love to hear from you guys. 627-6963. Long time done. Short time left. Good to have you here with us, Abiola Washington. And Pops. Robert Archer. Yep, good to hear from you. I'm loving the various views on this matter. Yep. Who is the president for truth, man? Who is the president? Maybe some people know where the power lies. Maybe some folks know where the power lies. 627-6963. Don't all rushing at once. Some of you are so shy. People hear your voice and all kinds of considerations you got and challenges. Yep, I think we're going to get another one. 627-6963.
Right. The election. As a person just say that's hot shit. Because I know get a chance to say some time on mind. This previous election, to be honest, it did make me even want to switch from good to bad, because right in front of your eyes you see the right turn wrong, and the wrong things become right, and the wrong things become right, and get these people sitting where they are.
Yeah.
And I blame the personnel that supported them and give them all the rights to do what they do, and sit down there are also some hypocrite.
Mm-hmm. Hippocytes.
Medio is the president.
Hippocytes. Branson Jaglo is the president. Hippocytes.
For Mr. Paul Pasol, who is presently on your thread.
Talk to
right?
you.
Why are you on this live if you will continue to disrespect everyone on the live? I don't have a problem with anyone being a part of any live stream. What I have a problem with is your sense of denial. If you want to make a contribution, I'm sure Mr. Duncan will welcome you to make
You just gotta
a
send
comment.
anything. Send
But
it.
why is it that all these trenches have to come on the various live streams with an air of disrespect? It just goes to show what the last caller just talked about.
Yeah, babe.
Them being very pompous when they know the truth. We are all Guyanese, and we all are entitled to our different opinions. But at least if you have something to say, show some respect. That is growing daily in our society. People just have no respect for each other. But then again, the tail reflects the head. I will repeat that. The tail reflects the head.
Yep. I hear you.
Hello, Sherrod. Good day to you. Everybody is asking who is the president. All you're not seeing that that alien head jack there is actually the president, and Irfan Ali is just a passport or a face for the front. And this man does not care about the poor people. He does not like people in Linden. He go against them because that's the APNU stronghold. That region is a stronghold for APNU, and he will always go against them. So he's doing everything in his power to destroy the Lindeners, to fight against the Linden people because of the fact remain that that's the APNU stronghold. And when Mr. Granger was in power, you were not seeing all these sorts of things happening. Everything that's happening right now is as soon as Barrett Jagdale stepped into office, everything that he touches turn into garbage or poison. And he's not going to do anything to help the poor people. He's discriminating the black people. He don't like black people because he's a big racial man. He's very racist, and he's going against the black people all the time. He's always going against them, and everybody is seeing his true colors now. And I think Aubrey Norton need to act faster to get them out of office. We need to get them out of office because they're destroying the country. And by the time they come out of office, if we let them run the 5 year, there will be no Guyana anymore. The entire Guyana will be to the floor. We will be looking like the Haitis or the South Africans or people in there. But, huh?
Yep. Thanks for that. Thanks for sending that through. Thanks for sending that through. Thank you. Thank you for sending that through. And I think this might be the last one before we wrap up. Mightn't be able to take all of them, but let's see how far we go.
Oh, we Paul Posad, mommy. If Paul Posad no know you, do you get yet boss? That is all.
No, we're not gonna advocate that. We're
We
not gonna
talk about stronghold. Check number 28 village. The condition of the street that the people are living in. The NDC are in bush lot. And you check for the time these people go in power, the amount of street they dig out. And onto a day like today, I want the world go and check number 28 village. Then is when you're gonna know. Or then is when you're gonna see and realize, Guyana is racist all the time and it not stop. All what people looking for is betterment, a better life. They don't want to give us a better life. So what you think people will do?
Yep. I hear you there, but we're not gonna advocate busting anybody here unless you're talking figuratively. We aren't gonna condone that. People must be able to put forward their views, just like each and every one of us, without any physical harm being brought to them. That's all I say on that. But that being said, folks, let's wrap it up. Good to have had you here, folks. We had apologies again for the late start. We were holding, as you know, for the press conference from the People's National Congress we formed to wrap up before we came on. Didn't want to duplicate a broadcast by any means and have simultaneous programs running on the page at the same time. So we were holding for our colleagues there to wrap up. Denise Mitchell, we see you. And Bull Page, we see you. Vesta Hardy, Raj Kumar, we see you as well. Andrew Cuthbert, we see you. Peggy Russell Elias, we see you. We see Maureen Chichester Paul, we see you. And thanks to each and every one of you guys for joining the podcast today. You guys, you guys make the program out there. Share the damn live stream, smash the emoji button, and partner with us, guys. We got all kinds of platforms available for your convenience. These programs, unfortunately, do not run on Walton. We depend on your kind support and your public contributions. Public support for these programs is the way in which they are sustained, through public support. And we thank you guys. We got Cash App, we got Zelle, we got PayPal, we got MMG, we're available via Western Union, via MoneyGram as well. 627, the very number you've been calling, is the number you want to contact if you need any guidance on any one of these platforms. 627-6963, the very number you've been calling. Again, we're available via Cash App, via Zelle, via PayPal, via MMG. We're available also via MoneyGram and Western Union. Thank you for your support, guys. pace and power as we go from strength to strength, folks, program to program. It's all because of you, all because of you, all because of your kindness. And we're going to take our leave here today. Deborah Leach and Laverne Harriton, Kelman Prasad, smash that emoji button before you go. Give the live stream a share, give the program a share. Folks, we see you, Candy and Lean Energy. Thank you for your contribution, Candy and Laverne Harriton, Kelman Prasad. Thanks for being here, all of you, the hundreds of you who tuned into our national podcast Below the Belt today. Candy said, "Talk the things," but you talk the things today, Candy. You talk the things. Good to see you, Glenn Sminkle, Burn, and all you other guys. We're going to see you guys right back here at 8 this evening. Wow, you guys showed up last night. Y'all really behave bad. You know yourself. You know your bad behavior. You know yourself. We got point y'all out. 627-6963. That's all. Stay safe, guys, until we see you guys back here this evening. Be safe out there. Continue to enjoy the afternoon. Be safe. Be safe. We don't talk. That's our time.